Proctor Davy is not a licensed doctor or tenured professor in any UN-recognized nation or provisional state, including the territory of Guam.
The Children's Hour of Knowledge.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Children's Hour of Knowledge, starring me, Proctor Davy, and my puppet pals. We're coming to you live from the kids-only Super Genius Treehouse Lab here in Detroit. With me, as always, is my co-host, Bongo McTweedlepants. Say hi, Bongo.
Hi, kids. Knowledge is half the power.
We've got sort of an unusual show for you today. Here on the cusp of a new millennium, we're going to take a look back and showcase the 20 most important facts of the 20th century.
The millennium happened 8 years ago, Davy.
Not by my calendar.
That's because you haven't flipped over the page since April of 2000.
The April cat is hanging from the tree limb and it says hang in there, which is kind of like a metaphor for my whole philosophy, Bongo. You'll excuse me if we don't just all flip away our philosophies because time has passed.
Before we get too far in the show here, we should introduce the newest addition to the Super Genius Treehouse Lab. Nick, our intern. Say hi, Nick.
Nick doesn't get a microphone. Nick goes to Poletown Community College.
Oh,
Nick gets to talk once he graduates.
Nick will be helping out around the studio here for college credit. And actually, he's taken on the responsibility of hiring our guest puppets. Since, we don't have that guy. Nick, would you like to introduce today's... You can't. For our listeners out there, Nick is gesturing enthusiastically to this gentleman.
Let's give a big Treehouse of Knowledge welcome to this week's guest puppet, Nick's great-uncle, Uncle Sunshine.
What a cute stage name. What's your actual name, sir?
It's Uncle. The man's name is Uncle Sunshine.
My mother named me after my brother's father. This was back in, 1910, I believe it was, during the big storm before we moved up north for Christie's lung puncture. We got the house where we had the
So,
tree.
Uncle Sunshine, what's your area of expertise exactly?
Interrupt me again, Bongo! Ah! See what happens when you interrupt a man with shrapnel in his guts.
I'm sorry?
Wow, Bongo, how polite. The man's like 200 years old. I'd think you could show a little respect.
What, they let homosexuals on the radio now?
Whoa!
Was that addressed to me or him?
Don't care for homosexuals, not one bit. Knew one back in the big war. Always hitting me on the knee with that little hammer of his, strutting around in his fancy white coat like he owned the thing. I could have had a white coat if I wanted. I told him that. I could have picked one up any time.
You think a homosexual is someone who wears a lab coat?
Well, that depends. Is that a lab coat you got on there?
How about those facts, Davy? Gonna go ahead and get started with number 20?
Yeah, okay. Number 20. The printing press.
The printing press was invented by Johann Gutenberg in 1439, Davy.
But not used, Bongo. Not used until 1938, when director Orson Welles needed some words to come spinning at the screen in his movie Citizen Kane, and so invented the newspaper.
I attempted to purchase a newspaper at the street corner last week, and I was thoroughly offended to find it was free of charge. That doesn't sit right with me.
That was probably one of the Detroit area alternative weekly papers, which are a notable development of the 20th century. Since they're supported entirely by advertising, they can offer a unique viewpoint on...
Some of the classifieds in the back were, I believe, for the services of prostitutes.
Why, yes, Uncle. I think there are some people in the studio who are familiar with that section.
Kid show! We're doing a kid show!
Well, if you didn't want me to see the ad, Terry, you shouldn't have used my picture.
I think it's a fantastic idea. I cannot tell you how much trouble I had during the war finding a hooker who'd let me...
Okay! Gonna move right on ahead to, You know what? How about, number 7? Davy, let's skip ahead.
Number 7. Brangelina.
I am 100% sure Brangelina is not on that list.
It's right here. It's in your handwriting.
Really?
Yeah, you dotted the I with a heart, too. I'm disappointed in you, Bongo. That has no business on our list. Benifer maybe, but Angelina Jolie...
I can't stand that woman's lips. Looks like she's allergic to her teeth.
Number 6. The Greatest Generation.
The Greatest Generation is a phrase used to refer to the Americans who survived World War II. As a matter of fact, Uncle Sunshine, you look to be about that age, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Yeah, I fought in the war.
The Second War of the Worlds. The invasion of the Reptoids was as lethal as it was sudden. Thankfully, the Allied forces were able to destroy their mothership, using an astonishing new weapon created by the Manhattan Project.
What?
That weapon's name was Godzilla.
Davy, have you been taking all your medication? Every day?
I take most of it, most days.
Give me that paper. Let's see here. Number 1. Casablanca?
Really, Casablanca?
What? What's wrong with Casablanca?
It's a bunch of bull honky, that's what's wrong with it.
I mean, why do you say that?
Laszlo escapes from a concentration camp. My ass. Nobody got out on our watch.
Wait, what?
Uncle Sunshine is a Nazi. That's great.
The hell do you think I was? Japanese?
Nick, you stupid little... Power of knowledge.